Can someone who knows more than me help me out with this one? So I've been using usaspending.gov to look into the USAID spending over the last 4 years. Because cracking open the USAID scandal changes the game. It is the story right now. And Americans are learning about all kinds of crazy government programs that we've been funding. But we're also learning about all kinds of organizations and NGOs and nonprofits that we didn't know we didn't even know existed. Okay, disregard the filter that TikTok just put on me for the last like 10 clips. And in the data here, I noticed that when you sort it by the size of payment, the largest payment, $6 billion, is to Chemonics International Inc., and then Pfizer. But then there's more Chemonics International Inc., and then there's more Chemonics International Inc., then there's more Chemonics International Inc., then there's more Chemonics International Inc. and more Chemonics International Inc. And I'm hoping that some of you already know about Chemonics and can give us some leads and get the ball rolling of what the hell this is. When you dig into the sub-awards that they're giving out, it's basically all just transporting pharmaceutical products all around the world to all sorts of developing nations. Looks like it's mostly AIDS drugs, which is an insane amount of money. Side note, can anyone describe to me why the AIDS epidemic is such a problem in Africa? Like, are they all doing heroin? Are they all having butt sex? Why is AIDS everywhere in Africa? Is it just from poor sanitation? Or is it possible that we're not being told the whole story about the AIDS epidemic? Because, what? But anyways, Chemonics International has earned $1.8 billion just in the last 12 months. But in all fiscal years, it looks like $17.3 billion. When you go to their website, their board of directors page no longer exists, which is kind of sus. But when you plug it into archive.org, you can get access to their board of directors as of 2024. And they don't seem like crazy sus. They seem kind of like nobodies, with a few exceptions that have worked in like big tech and big medicine and big supply chain kind of stuff. There is this dude, Gunjan, who has worked for Disney Plus and Amazon Fire TV and Prime Digital and Amazon Studios. And why is that experience relevant to international aid work delivering medicine? But anyways, Wikipedia says that Chemonics is the largest for-profit recipient of U.S. government foreign aid. As of 2019, the company has approximately 5,000 employees. The firm offers capacity building, communications, corporate social responsibility, knowledge management, performance management, and appraisal and program design services. What does any of that mean? Remember, the top receiver of U.S. aid funding. And they offer a hodgepodge of corporate gobbledygook that doesn't really say anything. Then when you start looking up the company and finding articles about them, you find articles like this one that state that, this is back in 2017, in the first quarter of 2017, only 7% of the health commodity shipments delivered through this program arrived at their destination on time and in full, meaning that 93% of the shipments they sent in that quarter either arrived incomplete or did not arrive within the 21-day window allotted and agreed to by the buyer. The largest recipient of foreign aid from our tax dollars is a company you've never heard of. And when they're using that massive share of our tax dollars, only 7% of the shipments they're sending are making it to their destination. At the time, this was USAID's largest ever contract. And then there's this article. It starts off by talking about this power plant in Afghanistan that these two firms, Black and Veatch and Louis-Berger Group, got a government contract through USAID to build. At least I presume it was through USAID. I don't know if that specific contract was. But Then an earthquake or an avalanche happened, and it kind of messed the plant up, and they never finished it. And now it's producing 2% of the power it was intended to generate. So then the article goes on to explore a number of sort of aid misallocations of funds over the years. And it starts with Hillary Clinton's tenure at the State Department. The company CEO was indicted for siphoning money from USAID reconstruction contracts in Iraq and Afghanistan, because that's what USAID is for Hillary Clinton's friends to siphon money out into their own pockets. Louis Berger, the firm that built that messed up power plant, they're represented by John Podesta and his lobbying group. You might know our boy John from his appearance in scandals like Pizzagate. But then it goes on to talk about how Podesta was tasked to come up with these sustainable development goals for this Council of International Development Companies. And one of those companies is Chemonics. Chemonics is the one we started on, the one that's the largest recipient of USAID money there is. And they thrived during Clinton's tenure, nabbing more contracts during the Haiti reconstruction effort than any other company. Funny, Cheryl Mills, Clinton's then chief of staff, was the point person, Politico reported. So USAID propaganda outlet reporting on USAID grifters about USAID programs that aren't, none of it is doing what we're told it was doing. If you don't know about Laura Silsby and the Haitian children trafficking scandal that erupted, that the Clintons and Cheryl Mills and Bill were all clearly involved in, like literally a trafficking ring got exposed, then it turned up in the Clinton emails that they were funded by and consulted by the Clintons. And then it turned up that the Clintons were protecting them. And then Bill Clinton got this position as the interim Haiti Recovery Commission chair, and he pardoned them and sent them home and covered it all up. It's a whole scandal. But despite Chemonics' scandals in Haiti, it continued to win lucrative USAID contracts in 2011 in Afghanistan. The project was intended to create 300,000 jobs. By 2013, after 2 years, it had only created 2,458 jobs. In May 2009, it won a $90 million contract to grow exports and employment in the Pakistani economy. The USAID Inspector General found no measurable increase in sales or employment after the first 2 years of the project. So can someone please help me out? This is the largest recipient of USAID funding, apparently, and they're ineffective. They're embroiled in scandals. I didn't even go into the one in Afghanistan where they were bribing the Taliban in order to not attack their shit. Literally, they were giving our taxpayer dollars to the Taliban. This company was, Chemonics, of their own volition. They were giving money to the Taliban basically as a protection racket. And I know it's not as funny as like trans operas, but every direction you look in this USAID scandal, you're finding wasted money, crime, cover-ups, intelligence networks, bureaucracy, grifting. It's so fucked up. If it's not apparent to you by now, this is the deep state. And it's been being built over the last 20 years, ever since Bill Clinton's time and even before, out of these proxy companies, these non-government organizations, these charitable organizations, all these shadow kind of organizations that you don't know about, that we don't elect, that are some of them private, some of them public, all of them in the shadows, just wheeling and dealing billions and billions and billions of dollars of taxpayer money that just goes into the black box of aid and then is never heard from again. If anyone else has any dirt on this Chemonics company, I would love to hear it.